Hey everyone, Sheila here from Life with Pets. So today we're going to do a complete makeover on one of our divided tanks. As always, if you're wanting more information on any of the products that we use or where we get them from, they will all be in the description box below. So the divider is one that we make, and as a lot of you know, it's one that we sell, and it is now available actually for sale on our website. So you can buy it through the website. Again, link in the description box below. So when putting the divider in the tank, it does need to be the correct way up, and that is with the bigger gap at the bottom where the substrate will go. When you put it into the tank, just make sure obviously you're not forcing it into place, but you do want a very secure fit. This one is designed to fit under the rim of the tank, and then it's also designed that it can be adjusted so that you can sort of push it out against the glass so that you've got no gaps at all, making it very, very secure for particularly betta fish so they can't get to each other, but obviously it can be used just to separate fish generally. And then we did add an additional security of just these little sliding clamps just to keep it firmly in place. So once the divider was in, we just wanted to make sure that we had it completely in the center. So we just measured the length of the tank and then made sure that the divider was sat in the center of the tank. So now that's securely in place, it's time to add the substrate, and we have gone with sand, and we always use the National Geographic from PetSmart. We just find that this one is extremely clean just right out the bag. It needs very little rinsing, and I just love the colour of it as well. It's quite a fine sand and it just looks amazing in the tank. So we decided that in this tank we would get creative and make our own decorations. These are the grey slates that you see in a lot of our tanks, and you can buy it at Michael's. I do get a lot of messages saying that it's not available in Michael's near you, or you just cannot find them, or they don't sell them. We have actually started selling these on our website. So if you're not able to get them at Michael's, then if you want to head on over, then you can get them there. We are just using super glue to glue a structure together. Super glue is perfectly safe in a tank, and you can make all sorts of different things with these. We did do something just very simple this time, but we do have big plans to do other things in the future in one of our other tanks that we're going to be doing a makeover on soon. So these are great for getting very creative, and they do stick really easily together. You need, as you can see, I'm using very little super glue, and they stuck really well. In fact, I was actually quite surprised in just the time that it took to do this video. You can see that they're already stuck together. We didn't stick the top piece on so that we could sort of move it around and rearrange it. We did decide to add some plants to it, and it took me forever to figure out where I wanted them. And again, you can glue those down as well, or you could just trap them. If you don't glue all the rocks down, then you could actually just trap them under the rocks as well. So you don't have to glue them, you can just do that. The plants are Anubias Nano Petite, and these are the ones that we got from H2O Plants. We did do another decoration as well, but unfortunately I didn't video it, so I did just put together what we used, which was PVC piping, super glue and a moss ball. You can use any other plants for what we did, and you will see the result towards the end of the video. So going back to the tank, we started to fill it up. When filling a tank, especially if you've used a substrate that is easily moved around, it is best to put a plate or something that you can pour the water onto, and that way you won't make a mess of the whole tank. We then added the filters, and these are our DIY filters. If you want to see how we make them, I will leave a link in the little iCard in the top right corner. These filters are fully cycled, so we have no issues in adding the fish straight into this tank. I do get asked a lot why we do filtration on both sides, and I just think that if you have a divided tank, especially if it's a very sturdy divider, then it is better to have the filtration on both sides, or at least to have a air stone on one side so that you do have a little water surface movement. We added a heater to the tank, and as a lot of you know, for most of the year we don't need one because where we live is very hot, but for the purpose of this video we did put one in. You will see it being moved around the tank throughout the video because we just couldn't decide where we wanted it to go. So once the basics are in, it's now time to start decorating the tank, and we are going to use the decorations that we've made and also different types of plants. The plants that we're going to be using for this are Amazon sword, green cryptocorin and various types of Anubias. These are all low to medium light plants and are easy to care for. We do get asked a lot what light we use on our divided tanks, and it is a Decky LED light, and I will leave a link to it in the description box below. We have found it to be an excellent light for growing plants, and it hasn't given us any issues whatsoever. We've been using them now for approximately 8-9 months. We use them on 2 different tanks, and the plants do grow well in both of those tanks. Okay, so you can now see the end product of the PVC pipe with the moss ball, and what we did was opened out the moss ball and glued it onto the pipe. We didn't want just sort of an ugly PVC pipe in, we wanted to get a little more creative with it, and in the future in one of our other tanks we do have some plans to get very creative with PVC piping. We do also sell that piping on our website, so if you're wanting a hideaway or a cave for your fish, then you are able to get that on our website. When planning out your planted tank, just make sure that they do all have very similar requirements. Otherwise, you will get some that won't do very well and others that will thrive. So if you do a little planning at the beginning, then it will save you a lot of money in dying plants or just plants that don't seem to do very well at all. So that is why we have picked these. They all should complement each other and require very similar lighting. Once we fill the tank back up, it was then time to sort of add plants that we wanted to put in a little higher up. And what we did is we fixed some tubing into some of the holes on the divider, and then we were able to attach some Anubias plants to it. We also did add a little sucker to the back of the tank, and we attached Anubias plants to that as well. So we did sort of get a little more creative in how we did things. You do have to remember when adding plants to a tank that you need to allow room for growth. So whilst the tank may not be quite as planted as you want it to look for the betta fish or for your fish in general, do remember that you do need that growth room so that the plants can thrive. We did leave a space in the middle on the right side of the tank so that we could add water lettuce, so we deliberately didn't put plants below that because the water lettuce do create a lot of shade and obviously light doesn't get through very well, and so we did deliberately leave that space so that we could add the water lettuce into that area, and then the roots will grow down into the tank, because I have found that the betta fish absolutely love water lettuce. I think it's because they feel very safe within the roots of it, and so I do, where possible, like to add that to the tanks. So the tank is almost ready now to add the fish. We did, as you can see, add the Anubias on the back of the left side. That was using the little sucker to attach it to and then just stick it onto the glass. We're now going to add root tabs into the tank, and we're using H2O Plants brand. We need to add tabs to the tank because sand has no nutrients in it whatsoever, so you need a way to feed the plants. Fish waste will feed plants, but when you only have 2 fish in a tank, then you're not going to create a massive amount of waste, and usually you do need to supplement for plant growth as well. So adding root tabs is a good way of feeding the plants, and it is the easiest way of feeding plants. So now everything is ready, we can put the fish in. We did acclimate them, and we have done Murphy on the left and Theo on the right. Murphy is our Dumbo Placotte male, and Theo is our Koi Placot male. We have put Murphy into this tank while we redesign his tank, and for those of you that are worrying about Henry, he is perfectly fine. All will be revealed over the coming weeks. So this is the makeover of our divided tank. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up. As I said, all the links will be in the description box below. If you're wanting more details on items used in the tank, then you will find all that there. If you're not subscribed to this channel and would like to see more videos like this, then please do so. And for those of you that are subscribed, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you know when we release a new video. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.